What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Abby, and I warmly welcome you to the Caribbean and to my container garden here in Trinidad and Tobago. This afternoon, I am tackling the source of my problem, or what I think is the source of my problem. As you guys well know, spider mites and mites is something that has infested my entire garden, and I found that even though I was treating the problem, it will go for a couple days and it will resurge with the same level of vengeance. And I initially thought that it may be an environmental problem because several of my neighbors are also having the same issue. However, with their treating of their gardens, I'm noticing that they're not doing it as regular as I am. And I was wondering what was the problem, and I really couldn't come to the conclusion until yesterday. So yesterday, as you guys well know, prior to like 3 weeks ago, the yard and the chicken coop flooded out. Hence the chicken coop, and it has been raining since then, so the chicken coop didn't get to dry out, and the mud get to dry. So the chickens claws were muddy. Their fingernails, they had like balls of mud on the ends of their fingernails. And so yesterday I picked up the ones who were worstly affected, and as I held the chicken, well, the second chicken that is, as I held her to soften the mud, to take it off of her claws, I noticed I was feeling things falling off of her onto my arm and biting me. And that alarmed me. So I quickly finished doing what I did with her, and I ran upstairs and I head to the shower to rinse my skin off. But by then it was too late, and I noticed that the symptoms that I was getting with my skin flaring up with the allergic reaction started right away. So that prompted a whole host of research, Googling, using the internet. And to my dismay, I learned that mites on a chicken can affect a person if they have an allergic reaction to it. So, I mean, the doctor was telling me that I was dealing with contact dermatitis and I needed to figure out what I was coming in contact with that was affecting me. And it makes a lot of sense right now because the mint tree that was over the chicken coop was there from the get-go. We never moved that tree. And it was only after having the chickens for the first year, a year and a half after, I started to develop these symptoms of allergic reactions on my skin. And we didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. And so when I took down the mint tree has been there 4 years. And so it's possible that the mites were all in those trees, so that when I cut down the mint tree, a lot of it shed onto me, and hence I had a really bad breakout um, from cutting down the mint tree that was over the chicken coop. So yesterday, it kind of was like a light bulb moment where holding that chicken and actually feeling things falling off of her onto me, and then my skin reacting, it was a light bulb moment as to what the real culprit was. And so the garden isn't the only person or the only thing that these mites is attacking. They're also attacking me, the gardener, the one who stored in the chickens and the gardens and everything. I too am being affected by the mites. So believe it or not, guys, I have treated everywhere in the yard except for my chicken coop. I have never put down anything to tackle pests in the chicken coop per se. I have never, it never occurred to me that might be dwelling in there, and that may be their home. That's their lair, as I would like to call it. It's their lair because they do nothing but good. I mean, but bad. um, so my goal today, guys, is, I mean, I was deliberating whether to share this with you, but I think I should because some of you may have chickens too, and you may not be aware that mites on your chickens can affect you. And I implore you, do some research as to what mites or lice on a chicken can do to the human body, to the skin. And if you too are having some kind of issue and you're not too sure what it is, that it might be a aha moment for you as well, like a light bulb moment for you as well. So I'm sharing it with you guys because I think it's good. It's good. I'm still going to head to a dermatologist, another one, to get a second opinion with the information that I have. And but right now I have to treat this problem because as I treat the plants on the outside, they perk up, and in 3 4 days is as if another wave of mites just come again, and they're nearby. They're right there in the chicken coop and on the chickens. So I'm gonna treat the birds. I'm gonna dunk them in the solution that I was given for them. The infestation is severe. And what I'm also going to do with the plants that are showing the worst, like, they're definitely hunched over. I'm going to severely prune back or yank out those plants and start those plants again. And hopefully, after treating the coop, I would be able to um, see the light of day as regards this issue in the yard stand. And you know something, guys? I noticed on the outside this problem. Let me share it with you. So, guys, this is the perimeter of the chicken coop from the outside of the fence. And you may not notice it from far, but when you get close to the foliage of this ivy, can you see how curled that is? Those are heavily infested with the mites. And I'm going to go to the other side where it has some infestation, but you can see it is not as heavy on this side of the coop as it is where the coop is. Where the coop is located, the foliage is definitely cringing in pain, and I am going to have to heavily treat um, for the mites. Yeah, it's becoming a bigger and bigger issue, and that's because I really didn't know where the source of my problem is. And I think I, by coincidence, yesterday found the source where these guys may be, reproducing or multiplying and resurging in the garden and the yard side so readily. So I'm gonna get started on cleaning up the chickens, and try doing the best I can to get the coop cleaned out. What I've done to protect my skin is that I have lathered on a very thick layer of Vaseline or petroleum jelly. That is in hopes I'm just trying my best, along with a long sleeve thick jacket. In the past, I've found that even though having on a long sleeve thick jacket or a long sleeve clothing, that it didn't make a difference. I still had a reaction. So I'm lathering on this thick layer of petroleum, hoping that anything get in contact with my skin, that it will get stuck in the petroleum and be unable to burrow or do anything onto my skin. But Right now, if I do get a reaction, I would just have to bear it because I have to treat it, and I have to treat it right away. So that's what's happening in the yard stand. That's what's happening. I mean, of course, this is not good news, but it's not bad news either because, I mean, if you find the source of your problems, like if you're sick, you go to the doctor and he tells you, okay, you have, spiked blood sugars and you need to change your diet so that you can feel better. It's not good to hear you have spiked blood sugar, but at least you know what the problem is so that you could do something to find a solution. And so that's what's happening today. I think I found my problem, and let's see what we could do to find the solution to this problem. So I'm going to clean out this coop first, though. I'm going to treat the birds and dunking them in this solution. Make sure that they are thoroughly saturated. And then I'm going to put them on the other side of the coop, take out all this bedding, and I am going to give in here a good dose of chemical they gave me in order to combat what's in the coop safely for the chickens. Hey guys, it's the next day, and I didn't film the rest of yesterday what I got done in the garden because my hands were super dirty, and I really needed to focus on what I was doing. So since I finished yesterday and I'm all cleaned up, I don't have much time this evening, but I do want to finish up this video, and I do want to get these chickens back to their original spot because they're tearing up my greenhouse and my okra plant they have devoured, and I need to get them back over to their original spot. So I'm going to show you what I am doing what I've done and what I'm going to do to finish it. So yesterday I worked really hard and I tore out as much of the bedding that I can got out. And as you can see, there's this white dust all over. I sprinkled lime all over in here. I moved everything, all the roosting boards. That's just a support board right there. I moved all the roosting boards and I sanitized those with bleach. Scrub those down. I sanitized the little piece of thing that I had here. I sanitized everything with bleach, and basically that's what happened in here. It looks like I went crazy with the limestone. All that white stuff is limestone. I threw it all in the cracks of the blocks that I can get in there just in case the mites were in there. But I also sprayed inside here with a solution, something for mites. So, and it was something that I could use on plants as well. So all these plants up in the corner here, everything, the entire perimeter, I treated well for the mites. And basically now I'm going to get these girls back in here because they're really tearing up my greenhouse. So that's them over there. They devoured my okra. They ate everything, left a little piece of stick there. I'm vexed, but I'm not gonna hold it against them. They love greens, and but I have some more okra plants already started, so I would just have to wait a little longer before I get okras again. So I'm going to rake this all in, disturb this all in, and get the fresh bedding down and put back up the roost and get these girls back in their original space, which is over here. Also, I want to note that everybody's doing fine, even though I had to dip them in the solution that was given to me, and I had to give them a thorough soaking with that solution yesterday. You can see that everyone is fine. They are all energetic, and if you ask me, they're actually moving a lot livelier. They seem a lot more content. One thing I will say though, after they are bathed in the solution, they seem a little dazed until they start to dry off. So I guess that's a side effect with all the fumes or whatever that's on them. But once they are back up and running, you can see that everybody seems to be all right. This one here seems to be nitpicking at herself a little, but all in all, usually these girls will be digging at themselves, but now today they seem quite content. Anyway, we have a date tonight, so I need to get this finished. So I need to go inside and dolls up myself so that I can enjoy my date night tonight. So I'm gonna do this really quick and finish up this video. If it seems abrupt, I'm sorry, but in the next video, I promise it won't be that way. It's just that I needed to deal with it, and I really wanted to educate you on that because some people are not aware, because I wasn't aware of mites. I didn't know that these mites that are on these birds could affect my garden, and was and is affecting my garden, and that they can affect us, because I think that that's what I'm dealing with. I can only confirm that through a dermatologist, but I'm going to add a picture here, what I saw on the internet, and it makes a lot of sense. And a lot of the things that they're describing is what I experienced. So, hope you appreciate it. If you did, please let me know in the comment section down below if you appreciated me sharing this with you. And yeah, keep it in mind, if you want to get chickens, that you will have to practice good husbandry and practice sanitizing regularly to keep pests at bay. So until we see each other, guys, take care and have a good week ahead. See you in the next one. Bye bye.